Good evening and a big welcome to our international audience from Warsaw. My name is Wojciech Bońkowski and my guest for tonight's interview is Agata Kwiecińska, press spokesperson of the Chopin competition. Welcome, Agata.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
The Chopin competition is a huge event, enormous, visited by so many people. Who is coming to Warsaw to listen to this competition?
Who is coming? That's a very good and very difficult question to ask because we have guests from all over the world, but the interest in Fryderyk Chopin piano competition now is, so to say, located in Far East. So we have a lot of guests from Asia, from Japan, from South Korea, from China. We have also a lot of participants coming from those countries. These are people who are interested in classical music, especially in piano music, of course, and who find Chopin's music very close to their hearts. I know that it sounds a little bit strange, maybe even funny, but it's really like this. It's a very specific connection between this, so to say, Slavic Polish soul and Far East soul, and we are still discussing it, why it looks like that. But these are people from music industry, of course, music managers, directors of festivals, people who are in charge of programming philharmonic halls, concerts. Also music lovers from all over the world, and of course journalists. Now we have a lot of guests from France, from South Korea, from Japan, and we are still waiting for journalists from the USA, from Russia, from European countries also.
They're waiting to see how it develops and who progresses to the following stages.
Yes, of course. They are following everything that is happening from April, because we had all those 160 pianists in April here in Warsaw in Philharmonic Hall, where we are right now, and they have to take part in preliminary round. And since then, we can see increasing interest in Chopin competition. Of course, third stage and the finals are most exciting, but I think even first and the second stage are very, very exciting, because the selection was so tough for those young people that we have really in Warsaw the best pianists from all over the world, and it's really good to come and to follow that competition from the very beginning. I mean, from the first stage.
So the Warsaw Philharmonic can seat 1,000, but I've got the impression that there are many, many more people in Warsaw. Restaurants are fully packed. I think hotels are also fully booked. Do you have an estimation of how many people are visiting Warsaw for the competition and whatever happens around the competition?
It's really very hard to say, because you've mentioned Philharmonic Hall, those seating places. We are talking about 100 places to seat, but the whole backstage is packed with people. It's about 500-600. So these are TV crews, radio journalists from Poland, of course, but also we have a lot of people from Asia. There is a South Korean TV art group. They are preparing an extremely interesting film. They are concentrated on pianos and preparing pianos for the competition. So they try to follow the whole process of choosing the best piano. So to mention that we have four different instruments: Steinway, Kawai, Yamaha, and Fazioli, and participants had to decide which instrument they want to play on, and they followed that process with the camera, of course, and then they also talked to piano technicians, people who are in charge of preparing pianos and and playing and preparing the instrument for participants.
So piano tourism is a thing of the past. Piano manufacturing tourism is a thing of the future.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, the press office started preparing this event a long time ago. I think you told me it was a year ago. It's such a complex and huge event.
Yes, it's very complex because we have to prepare the whole strategy, how to communicate about competition in the 21st century. Because of course the tradition is great and it's magnificent, and in Poland we are proud of it. And of course we can repeat all the time that it's almost 90 years of a great tradition, but we're facing a very important problem, how to get to the new audiences, people who are not interested in classical music, who even are not conscious that Fryderyk Chopin was a Polish composer. For some people, it's completely incredible, but it is like this in Poland and all over the world. So we tried to find a way of showing a competition as a kind of a, I wouldn't like to use the word game, because it comes to sport and it's of course very, very dangerous. But the beautiful thing of competing in art, which is very unique. And that's why the special website was prepared. That's why we're sitting in that great studio and we can talk to our audience, people who are listening to us in Asia, maybe in the USA, maybe in Great Britain. So we tried to find a new way of talking about Chopin competition, of showing participants, of creating some human stories, connected with those young people. It was really amazing because at the end of the 2014, I mean last year, we've received over 450 application forms. These were pianists who wanted to take part in that competition. So what is the number of 78 we have now? That shows how important it is, and still in that very fast and very commercial world. So it's a new situation, and we hope that we will try to not to maintain, to gain more and different audiences, and to prolong that great tradition till the, I don't know, 22nd century. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Some music lovers look a little bit down on the sportive aspects. They say the competition should not be a show. It's about very serious music. It's about the greatest composer in the history. But you think it's necessary to make it more modern, to appeal to new audiences?
Oh, it doesn't mean to dismiss the very spiritual aspect of that competition. Of course, that's the most important thing. And I've tried to ask that question a few days ago and yesterday, and even today I was interviewed a lot of time, and some news journalists asked me, oh, but tell me, what is about that judging? What is the jury member? What do they do? And I said, I don't know, I'm not a jury member, of course, it's not a question to me, but I'm pretty sure that everyone, an adult, a musicologist, great pianists like Marta Argerich, Philippe Ontremont, or other jury member, of course, we have different criteria, but every one of us wants to be moved, I think, and to find something that will catch him and feel that, and forget about everything that surrounds us. And of course, that's the way art should touch us, I think. But it's not bad. I'm sure that it's not bad to get closer to those people as a people, not as a great pianist, people who are just practicing and preparing and they are just very smart, very talented people. They have some wonderful hobbies. They have their needs, their wantings, their dreams. And we just wanted to create some kind of a catalog of different types of personality. And we just want to get to know them better, and also their cultures, because they represent different cultures. That's really very interesting.
I can see you really like those pianists. It's a pity half of them have to go home very soon.
Yes, of course.
Now the stage is set for a great show, but a good show needs superstars. So are you confident that in this group we really have some piano superstars that will rise during the competition?
We will see. Chopin verifies...
A new Pogorelic?
Maybe. Chopin verifies pianists very specifically. As we can see, it's a very specific competition. What I mean, you have to prepare only Chopin's music. It's really demanding, because pianists are traveling from one to another competition, and they can play the music by Joseph Haydn, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven, Johann Sebastian Bach, and they can, so to say, use that repertoire a few times. When you're deciding that we want to take part in Chopin competition, you have to prepare around 3 hours of music only by Fryderyk Chopin, and that means you have to prepare that repertoire, and it takes more than a year of a really very hard work, and it's a very serious decision, because not every pianist can be a good Chopinist, as we say, and that's obvious. So they have to be very devoted to it, and also, I think, very, how to say it, they have to be sure that Chopin gives them something more than an award, because we have only 6 awards, so we'll see.
So we have this global event with a lot of preparation on a huge scale. Is the Chopin competition different from other piano competitions that take place throughout the world?
It's different because of the repertoire, what I mentioned. It's different because of our website and our online offer, because it's quite huge. For the first time, the whole competition is broadcasted on YouTube, so it's a new platform. Also, for young musicians to promote themselves, we can mention a great pianist who just promoted herself via YouTube. I mean, Valentina Lisitsa, and it showed it's enough. It's enough to launch a professional career, and that's also a question we are asking. We are trying to answer nowadays. Is really a competition the only way or the best way to launch a professional career? That's an open question, I think.
I've heard that question for many, many years, and competitions still take place, yes, so apparently they are still a good solution. But let's talk about new technologies, because you mentioned live streaming, and we've been watching this, but also social media are a very active channel of communicating the competition, and not only YouTube, because there is also Facebook and Twitter, so I think it's the most active competition in the world.
Yes, it's Facebook, it's Twitter. These are very vivid discussions on our chats, and we have a lot of people to operate them and to ask every single question. These are very detailed questions very often. For example, what what are serious numbers of the pianos that they are playing, and we have to check it. We're also learning a lot.
Why would someone want to know
I
that?
don't know. I have no idea, but these are questions our listeners and are asking. So we are just learning every day really a lot. Of course, they are also discussing some details like dresses, shoes, and the way of moving at the piano. But very often it's a very professional and very interesting discussion. And we are so happy to see that really Chopin's music and that competition is moving people, and they are gathering and they are discussing it online. And it's a special community. I don't know how to name it.
Chopin groupies. Huh?
So Chopin groupies online. Yes.
Well, it's an amazing way of reaching Chopin groupies. I've got 1,200 friends on Facebook, and I've just discovered how many of them are actually listening to the competition, far more than I thought. Do you have an estimate of how many people are following the competition via Facebook and YouTube and Twitter?
It's really hard to say. We're just starting. We're at the very start, so we'll see. We'll try to estimate it at the end of the first stage, and we'll try to give some statistics. But we're gathering more and more people every hour. So this group is really being...
I hope you have a good broadband connection for the finals.
We have to be prepared for the huge audience.
And did you mention you employ people just to answer messages on Facebook and
these
Twitter?
Are
really?
two guys.
How many people? This is a dream job. Fantastic.
Yes, they look like pianists because we have in our press office a big screen, and on that screen we can see fingers of the pianist is playing, and just next to the screen I can see two guys with their keyboards and answering those questions. And I even today I said that we should take a photo or a short film to show it, because they look like pianists just answering your questions.
Just like there's no perfect pianists, there is also no perfect competition. So I'm sure there are some things that you didn't do this year for the Chopin competition that you want to do. So what is going to be the next big change for 2020? The new introduction, the new technology?
Oh, it's a very difficult question at the beginning of this competition, but I think I'm dreaming about live broadcasts in the cinemas. Something like we know from Metropolitan Opera offer, for example, just to feel as if you were in the music hall, that you can see those rows in front of you and you can see something from the backstage and you can feel that atmosphere. That's very important. Of course, this year we are going to have such a broadcast that would be a final concert, not finals, but the gala concert on the 21st of October. But it takes place only in Poland. When we see how many people all over the world are interested in Chopin competition, maybe we should think about broadcasts in Europe, maybe.
And Asia.
And Asia, of course, but it would be not a broadcast because they are falling asleep when we are...
If they can get up to watch a football match, I'm sure they can do
you're right.
the Chopin competition.
Maybe also.
Maybe Chopin at the National Stadium one day?
Maybe Chopin at the National Stadium, but that's the question of the quality of sound and what to do with the piano. We are just used to the situation that we're listening piano in a huge hall for 2,000 listeners, but what Chopin would say. Of course, that's the question. That's an important question. But I think that those auditions and the first, second, and third stage here, Warsaw Philharmonic is big enough. And for those pianists, they also have to concentrate on playing. I think it would be. Maybe it could be a little bit dangerous when it took part when we moved it to the bigger hall. What's more, we don't have such hall in Warsaw, but maybe in the future we'll see.
Agata Kwiecińska, press spokesperson of the Chopin competition. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much.